Is that your job from the Lord was going to be to mentor other men, and that you weren't the man? That it was your job to step up and start putting your arm around other people?
I think, through these trials and tribulations, I think in having, Mike's office was always open, and his door would always be open. And, if he hadn't seen you in a while, and my meeting room was right next to his, so you have to pass his room. So it's kind of like one of those things where you walk fast right up to the door, and then you slow down, and then you try to go across that door threshold real quick so he doesn't catch you. But, like I said, he's been around the block long enough to know when things are good and when things are rough. And so he would help as he was mentoring us, and he would say, listen, it's my job to give this information, but it's not just for you to just take the information and sit on it. It's your job to compute it and then push it back out. And again, that chain that he talked about earlier where we disciple each other, as men in Christ, that chain just keeps going around. And so I think he was a big help in helping me do that and grow.
Thank you guys, both of that's a great 1-2 combination this morning. I know your lives are busy. Have you guys had an opportunity to give this kind of talk to young people, whether it's high school or college-age kids? I think that, Mike, you said it, that you're so involved in being on that pedestal or being here, and I'm not sure, being the father of 4 sons, how to help impress our young people about how important that men's ministry is, or having guys walk alongside of you, or maybe even more importantly, at 15 or 18 or 23, you can be a mentor, and that's a powerful message to share with them, and you guys have done a great job with that.
Yeah, I think that's what our scope is, to reach every segment of the population that we can. And we have been doing it in the past, but I would say that we've not really done it and developed it like we can, to really help men help other men, and that's what we're in the process of doing now.
Thanks, guys, for coming today and sharing. I think this is the best part of the program, is when we can bounce ideas off one another. You just brought up platforms, and I think any one of us men in this room, how do we convince a brother, a friend, coworker, someone we just walk side by side with, to get down on their knees and just open up? Because the hardest part, the platforms are there, whether it's brought about by the church or any platform that you may have put together. But how do you get these guys to take the first step, to admit, open up, and to want to share that there's an issue? Because I think that's the hardest part, is just admitting that there's an issue. And, I'll let you answer on that.
I think one of the things that I felt is like me being open. If I just met you and we're talking, it's a lot. It puts you at ease if I say, I'm a sinner. Here's what I was dealing with, So I'm open to you first. And some might open right now, some might never open, some might open later on. But we're just vehicles, and we're just driving, and we're throwing these seeds out. And a lot of times we think it's about us, but we don't know God's plan and what He's using us for at this point in time. It could just be a handoff. You might not see the touchdown. It might be 20 years, you might be dead when this seed sprouts. So I think by the way that you walk, because someone's always looking. Someone is always looking about, especially when you profess you're a believer, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just going to watch. And so it's when you don't think people are watching, what kind of character, what are you doing then? Because someone's always watching. And when they get that one glimpse, you got one shot at it, And so when you're a believer and you mess up, they're right there to try to nail you. But we're all sinners, right? So I think the biggest thing to me, and what I've tried to do, because we've had this conversation many times, is one, opening up, saying, hey, I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. And sharing about you. And again, you might not see the end result, but plant the seeds and let God water them.
Yeah, that was right on point, Rock. The only thing one of the things that with men, if you want them to do anything, if you want them to bleed, you have to hemorrhage. Like Mike was saying, you have to live a life that's authentic and just say, you know what, this is who I am. I mess up, I confess it, I don't hide it, and you keep moving on. And I think that being authentic, people will see that.
I appreciate you guys coming out. Just the big question for me is, what's the best advice can you guys give for a 24-year-old who just recently got engaged and didn't really grow up with a father figure or anyone to really learn from?
Spend as much time as you can in the scriptures. Walk as closely as you can with Jesus. And I would get around other men who love their wives, who love their families, and who love God. And I would look at those men 5 years out, 10 years out, 20, and then, I would try to find a group of men, 5 years out that's going to be closer to your own age, that you can model in 10 years out, so you have something to look at, and then, even further out, how you want to end up. And just really try to pick their brains, be honest with them, encourage them to be honest with you. But I think the biggest thing that changes a person's life is the scriptures. Staying close to God so you can listen to what he's saying.
Things are going to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and for the better. I mean, it's one of the things where, the one thing that I think my wife and I, we've gotten closer since I retired. And part of that was me, again, stepping back and releasing, because even in, we talked about these things on the field. Sometimes you can come in the house and say, I'm the breadwinner, I'm holding this thing down, and understanding, I had to understand, like, once she left me with the kids, I understand that's some hard work, And so that gave me a new perspective. And so, being understanding and saying it's not all about me. Now it truly is, 50-50. And understand, God and then her and you and then the kids. And but it's definitely, it changed for the better. It's definitely good, especially when you got God in it and you got him as the glue, as the foundation.